I'm Alice Hart-Davis, and this week's Tweak of the Week is Botox in the armpits. I'm here at the Dr Rita Rakus clinic in Knightsbridge, and I'm going to go and see Mr Kambiz Golchin to try this procedure. So come on in with me, we'll see how it is. I'm here at the Dr Rita Rakus clinic with Kambiz Golchin, who is a brilliant surgeon, aesthetic practitioner, and what we're going to talk about today is a different use of Botox, not for wrinkles, but for sweaty armpits, or for reducing sweating in the armpits. I mean, this is a proper FDA-approved use of Botox, isn't it?
Well, it's one of the licensed indications for one of the medical uses of Botox. So excessive sweating or hyperhidrosis affects about 1% of the population. So when you actually think about it, it's quite a large number.
Quite a lot, yeah.
It's quite a lot, and it affects both men and women. And it can be quite debilitating. It could actually be, from a social point of view, it could actually be quite irritating.
Yeah.
Can often have a huge social impact in terms of how you dress and what situations you're in, whether it's in the work environment or whether it's, on your wedding day. So it can be a nuisance.
Yeah, and you're kind of going to do a treatment on me and my armpits. I can't claim to have hyperhidrosis, but I know from trying it before that it is a really handy thing to have done in the summertime because it just stops you sweating, and that is fab. But it can also be done in the hands, can't it?
It can be. So
that must be really painful.
It is a little bit painful. I mean, we do use strong anesthetic creams, but it can be a little bit painful. But it's very important for certain groups of patients, especially in a business situation when if you have a sweaty palm, it could come across as you're a little bit intimidated by the meeting, whereas if you don't, then it's just a sign of strength. But yes, it's
or even just in this very hot weather, I found with normal typing I have to keep going and washing my hands, otherwise they're getting sticky. But anyway, today is the armpits, which is a pretty quick and easy procedure, isn't it?
It's very quick, and as you correctly say, some people choose to do it for lifestyle reasons rather than having a problem with excessive sweating.
But it is a medically approved treatment.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go try the treatment.
Fantastic.
So you start by marking up the armpit?
I do. So to make the injection process a little bit more consistent and systematic, it's a good idea to make a grid pattern so that we can cover the large area adequately. One of the things that we often do is a starch iodine test, which gives us an indication of where excessive patches of sweating would be. But with you, we have an idea of where we're going to do this. So we're not going to do the iodine starch test. Plus, it's a very, very hot day today. So we're going to draw a pattern.
It tickles, but I'm not going to get the giggles.
No, try not to. And we know from what you've told me that your problem tends to be more at the peripheries rather than the central part of the armpit.
Because I should say for the cameras that I've tried a treatment that totally disables the sweat glands permanently in the armpit, but it only seems to work partially on it, so that's why I'm getting sweating around the edges more than in the middle.
Sure.
And how Botox works in to
reduce the sweating
is it interferes with the nerve signal, or it stops the nerve signal that's telling the sweat glands to sweat from actually getting through.
So it blocks one of the neurotransmitters, much the same way as how it works on a muscle. It stops one of the signals. It's a chemical blockage essentially. So it blocks the neurotransmitter, which the sweat glands need to release the sweat.
In order to kick off.
We're going to make a start, and we're going to do lots of little injections. So one of the things I like to do is tiny little injections using a very fine needle, which actually makes it quite bearable.
It's tiny as pinpricks, so I can see that John behind the camera is looking the other way. It's really not bad, John. I'm not even blinking, I'm not flinching. It's a very superficial sort of injection, isn't it?
It's a very superficial injection, so I'm just creating little blebs of injection into my grid pattern.
And how long does it take to go to work? It's a few days.
It takes a few days. It can take actually up to 2 weeks for the full effect to kick in.
Right.
And the results can last for many, many months. Typically much longer than what you would expect in terms of facial Botox. So typically most people report that they get about 9 months of reduction.
Okay. And does that depend on how active your sweat glands are?
It really does.
Okay. And the other thing people always want to know is it safe in that surely it's more natural to sweat and whatever, but this isn't permanently stopping you sweating, and also there's a great deal else of the body that
absolutely. So you can sweat from all your skin, the largest organ in the body, so you can certainly sweat from other parts of the skin. We're just selectively blocking one area, but it doesn't mean that you're going to have a buildup of toxins, for example, in your body. It doesn't. It's actually very, very safe to do, and the dosage that we use for Botox it's quite a safe dose. It's still classed as a cosmetic dose. So it's actually not excessive at all. So right side is done.
Amazing. So quick.
Okay.
Right.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
That is fab, and these little blebs will sort of go down over the next.
They'll subside within the next 12 hours or so. So really, in terms of aftercare, I mean, you can have a shower later on. That's not a problem. What I don't want you to do is to use any deodorant or anything that might irritate the area because you've just had an injection.
I mean, that was super quick, and I mean, it really isn't painful at all. I mean, you could see there's needles involved, obviously, but it's the tiniest prickle.
It is the tiniest prickle, and the obviously the choice of the needle makes a difference, but also the depth of the injection. So I like to say that I charge extra for pain. I know you didn't want to pay any extra, so
I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But to me, this is the absolute ultimate luxury of having 6, 8, 9 months guaranteed of not worrying about sweating under my armpits.
Correct.
But it's just a real icing on the cake procedure. Which, so lucky me. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.